All right, here we go. Oh. All right, everybody. Welcome to Misfit Corner Comics Presents. This is the artist Andrew speaking, and we are starting our next live stream. It is Monday, March 26th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the dot, and I'm going to start drawing. I didn't have anything particular in plan for this evening. I think I'm going to work on the next partial splash page for the next page in Hero Book 3. I think it's page 69. I did not do a layout for this page, so I'm actually going to be starting pretty much from scratch here. I know what's supposed to be on the page, and that's about it. So, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm not going to need that. Oh, where's my pencils? Alright, here we go. My desk right now is a mess of jumbled stuff. I'm still trying to reorganize everything after this weekend's convention, putting everything in its right place. I actually was so busy at the show, talking to people and dealing with customers and selling stuff, that I actually did not keep very good track of our inventory, even though I set up things to do exactly that. So I'm having to play catch up in a lot of things today, redoing inventory and so forth. So I'm sending out a Facebook post. Hey everyone, I'm live streaming now. Post a face. Actually, I will make that public, and that's gone. And then we'll do a Twitter. Actually, I don't think anybody has actually come from Twitter or Facebook, but you know what? They're sent. Oh. All right. The 68th page of Hero Book 3, which is what I finished last time, was the one with the giant alligator snapping turtle, which in Hero's world is referred to as a dragon. And in the foreground were the 7 legendary warriors. That particular scene takes place like 100 years ago, so it's an older group, or a completely different group of the 7 legendary warriors than what Hero's going to meet later on in issue 3. He's actually going to meet them, their descendants. So the drawing that I'm going to work on today is the 7 legendary warriors from that time, who are not necessarily the ones that he's going to meet later in the chapter. So so in other words, the character designs I did for those 7 legendary warriors that I did a month ago or so, throw them out the window. They're not valid anymore because I'm doing all new ones from scratch. But very much like there's a page early on in chapter 3 in which it's a flashback to where Hero's mom and dad met, and they were actually battling in the Hades War, which you'll find out is when Hades decided to try to take over the world, and all the peoples and all the characters and all came together to fight him back. And they defeated him and pushed him back underground and all of his bad guys and minions. But I have this one splash page that I did where it shows Hero's mom and dad and all their other compadres heading off into battle. And this image is very similar to that in that it's the 7 legendary warriors kind of heading into battle against the giant alligator snapping turtle, hence known as the dragon. So we want to make some very cool looking images of some cool looking characters going off into a battle scene, and then we will probably never see these characters again because, like I said, this story takes place about 100 years ago, so these characters mostly are no longer around. And the 7 characters include an ox, a rabbit, a horse, a snake, a monkey, a rooster, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the current swords, the master of the sword for the current storyline is a sheep, but in this one it's a ram. Same general family. So the one that I think is probably the most enjoyable, easiest to draw, the funnest to draw, would be the ox. And oh, you know what? While I'm sitting here, I better pop open some reference. And we're gonna play a little bit of YouTube approved music in the background. If anybody out there is watching, and if the music starts to get too loud, please just let me know, and I will turn it down. But oh, I forgot I was gonna record this. I almost forgot that step. Yes, this is what the first 5 minutes of most of my live stream is. Me just trying to figure out what the heck I'm supposed to be doing and laying everything out. Let's see here. Where's my ox reference? Ah, here it is. Perfect. I do base a lot of the supporting cast and all on real animals, but Hero is not. He's not based on any real animal. He's I don't know if I ever told you guys the story. Hero was originally supposed to be a raccoon, because the day that I came up with the idea for Hero, Charlie and I went out on our normal early morning walk to go take out the trash. We always take out the trash first thing in the morning. We were living in an apartment complex at the time, and as we're heading towards the dumpster to take out the trash, we see a raccoon go running past. And that kind of inspired me for the design. The initial design of Hero was based on that raccoon. And my good friend Avery, when he first saw the character, he looked at it and said, he looks more like a cross between a raccoon and a kangaroo because he has such long legs. And that's when Mike and I decided that he wasn't going to actually be based on any animal in real life. He'll be our own creation. And because he was born and raised and lives in the Tilmar Valley, he was called a Tilmaroon. And that's where it comes from. So, if anybody out there is watching this and didn't know that, now you're filled in. Hero is not a raccoon. He's not a kangaroo. He's a Tilmaroon. I gained a couple of new followers, subscribers to my YouTube channel after this weekend. I displayed some of the original art that I had been working on recently, including that splash page of the alligator turtle at the convention that I was at. And I had a really good time at the convention, met a whole lot of people, a lot of great people, and had a really good time. And I picked up a couple of subscribers because of it, because I put a little sign out, told people, hey, check out our YouTube channel. And some people did, so that's kind of awesome. And I hope they are as entertained as I intend to make people. Or I hope they're as entertained as I want, as I hope to achieve. Ah, screw it. You guys know what I'm trying to say. Oh. This guy is just a big, huge ox character. He's got some resemblance to an actual ox, but got a little bit more of a cartoony look. And like I said, this character, there's going to be these characters are going to be seen later on in this particular story arc, but we're not going to focus on them at all. So these designs will be one and dones, kind of. The current 7 legendary warriors, I already did the designs for, and I'm pretty happy with most of them. There's actually 2. Well, no, was it 2 or 1? I think there was 1 that I didn't design yet, and there's a reason for it. One of the legendary warriors is a horse, and I'm really bad at drawing horses, so I suggested to Mike a story idea in which one of the legendary warriors, so I'm not going to tell you who, turns traitor and attacks and almost kills one of the other legendary warriors, so that when the legendary warriors show up to where Hero's at and Hero meets him, there's only 5 of them. And the real reason is I am not very good at drawing horses. So the horse master will be out of action, so to say, at that point in the story. So I wasn't too worried about drawing him or designing him because he wasn't even going to be there. You know, I read once, I think it was an article with Eric Larson, where he was talking about things that he likes to draw and things that he likes to focus on, and he was telling the interviewer that he did not like to draw cars, and he said that's why when you read an issue of Savage Dragon, very rarely do you ever see anybody in cars, and that reason is he doesn't like to draw cars. And it's supposed to be a cop, or it was originally a cop drama type thing, and nobody was ever seen driving a car. Well, I am not very good at drawing horses, so there are not going to be very many horses in Hero. Now, the way I imagine this character is he's going to be kind of in the background, because he's big, he's kind of huge, and I think his weapon of choice, it's either the hammer or the axe. You know what? I'm going to have to look at my reference real quick. Yeah, I think of the legendary warriors, it was the ox who carried the hammer. But for this particular story, he's got an axe. Huh, I don't know where my references are at. Oh well, that's alright. To be honest with you, I already drew the smaller version where it shows them. And he's carrying 2 axes. You know, I might have to digitally fix that because the current one carries the hammer. And this is actually kind of weird, but most characters in the hero universe have 3 fingers and a thumb, but the ones that are based on horses, or like horses, goats, ox, have only 2. And I don't know why I did that. I'm not sure if it's one of those conscious things, or if that's just, you know, because I imagine them, they don't have hands, they have hooves, and you have 2 large hoof type knuckles. Is how I imagine them. When I redo this and draw it bigger, it'll you'll be able to see the whole image, but for right now, this is just the. Like I said, this guy is going to be in the background, so I'm not too worried about the full image, but what do you think? Hey Jason, what's up, man? Oh, where did you get that good deal on the pop figure, by the way? I didn't recognize the sale tag. For anybody listening to the stream later, this is a good friend of mine named Jason, my Atlanta brother, who's a fan of Pops and Star Wars and movies and Legos and pretty much everything I'm into. Oh, he's also a huge fan of Pitch Perfect, and oh, very nice. He's a huge fan of Pitch Perfect. If he tells you he's not, he's just playing with you. He's as big a fan of Pitch Perfect as I am, and he'll be very happy to hear that I did a video for Pitch Perfect 3, the Steelbook case Walmart exclusive, which I picked up yesterday, or Saturday. I picked it up Saturday, and I'll be posting that very, very soon. And yeah, see, he says lies, but it's not true. He's a huge fan. He's a huge fan. So, matter of fact, in all honesty, if I made that video for one person and one person only, it would be Jason. So, all right. Hey, Jason, we're just working on a layout for my next half splash page. So I'm actually designing these characters as I'm doing the layout. So this is the Ram character who no, this is the Ox character. What am I saying? What am I saying? The Ram's a whole different character. So oh, so you want to hear about the weekend? All right, all right. Well, while I'm working, let me just grab my reference real quick. The convention was actually very good. I had a very high goal that I set for myself, and I based it on the fact how well I did last year. And not only did I reach the goal by Saturday, I surpassed it by several $100s. So I was very, very, very happy with that. And let's see, get this one up. Shut up about Pitch Perfect. Oh, you guys know I love teasing you, especially Jason. He's easy. Oh, speaking of which, Jason, from now on, whenever you bring up my cousin, I'm gonna bring up your cousin. Dude, she was adorable. Those pictures you showed from visiting your family in California, that one of your cousin, she is cute as a button. And hey, you know, I need to find somebody who's single. Hey, is she single? That's a good question. I have a son who's single, you know. Ugh. Oh. Next character is a ram. This is very loosely based on a ram. Well, you know what's so funny is I actually recorded 2 videos on day 1. I took a video of the empty space, like the before, and then after we got everything set up, but I did not post it. I was going to go home and I was going to put it together and make a video out of it and post it on YouTube, but I was so exhausted. That I never got around to doing it. That video was actually the one I did Sunday before we started, and I went ahead and I made it short and posted it right to Facebook. But yeah, I'm gonna be better at it next time. Oh, no doubt she's definitely out of our leagues, you know. But I can always ask, hey, how's your cousin doing? You know, like very similar to what you do to me all the time, you know. Anyway, so I set a rather lofty goal for what we wanted to accomplish. I had 4 things I wanted to do. I needed to make back the table, of course. That's always the first goal. Then I needed to pay back somebody some money I'd borrowed right before the show, and that was in there. I needed to also go ahead and pay for my parking ticket, which, by the way, took care of this morning, so everybody out there can, all of my family members who were under the impression that I was going to start a crime spree. I don't know why they would think that. I know it's what I said I was going to do, but, you know, it didn't happen. But the goal was to cover the table, cover the ticket, cover the money I owed the person, and then have enough money left over to buy 3 Steelbook case videos. The 2 that came out that week and the one that's coming out this week. So, and I reached that goal Saturday night, and all day Sunday was just extra money for the pocket. So I was very, very happy. Met a lot of really great people. Had a really good time at the show. Sold a lot of crap. The funny thing is that I didn't intend to sell Hero because I only had copies of Hero #1. So I put Hero up on a little shelf up over the table, and I put up a piece of art and a little sign telling people about it. And I almost sold out of the copies I had. I had one copy left at the end of the day. But I was joking with Michael that I try to wait till the very last second before closing up because I want to get that elusive last minute dollar. And my very last sale was we were in the process of packing down. Everybody was getting ready to most of the people around me had already packed down fully, and I had packed down, and I still had Hero out there, and a guy came and says, "Oh, I'm so glad you didn't take this down. I want one of those." So I got that elusive last dollar from somebody, and it was to purchase Hero, which, you know, fantastic. And the funny thing was, I asked the guy, I said, "Do you have children?" He said, "No, I just really like independent stuff and art." And I'm like, frickin' A, that's awesome. So I set 3 goals. All right, let me see what Jason. It's a good idea. Ask all you want at least. Yeah, yeah, okay, that's true. Yeah, well, I know. Well, because I had, Jason, I had a vendor's table and not an artist alley table. So instead of just showing off Hero, I brought graphic novels, I bought trade paperbacks, I bought Legos, I bought Pops, which, believe it or not, I sold almost all of my Pops that I had. I had comics, I had DVDs, some old movies on Blu-ray. I had some DVD, TV sets, and I sold everything. I sold a little bit of everything. The one thing I didn't sell any of, which didn't surprise me, was original art. Nobody was interested in original art, and this show was more of a comic show and not one where people would buy art. So I was okay with that. That was cool. Matter of fact, I had 2 bins of art on the table. I took them down on the last day in order to make room on the table for comics. So, but there was only one negative thing about the show, and I'll tell you guys about it because I already complained to the people. I already let them know my opinions on it and what happened. But last year, the show was at the Morocco Shrine Auditorium, which anybody who's familiar with Jacksonville, pretty much everybody knows what the Morocco Shrine is. Well, last year at the show, they were charging for parking. But when we went in on Thursday to pick up our passes, our wristbands, they gave us a parking permit so that we could come and go in the parking lot freely. Well, this year, they switched the venue to that one big building on the fairgrounds across from the stadium, Everbank Stadium, home of the Jaguars. For anybody watching this doesn't know what we're talking about. We have the fairgrounds, and they have this big building. It's usually where they put the livestock in and have all those arts and crafts and all that kind of good stuff. And it's a bigger space, which is cool, and it allowed them to do more corner booths. And I actually got a corner booth, which actually helped out a lot because it gave me more room to spread out more stuff. But when I got the email about the location, it didn't say anything about parking. And one of the emails that they sent specifically pointed out that the lot behind the building was for VIPs and weekend pass holders. And I'm like, okay, well, that's good to know. And when we got there on Thursday to drop everything off, they gave us our wristband, which said weekend pass. So I'm thinking, okay, well then that's the parking lot we're supposed to park in. That makes perfect sense. It's behind the building. It's where the load out area is at. It just makes perfect sense. When we got there Friday morning, that area was roped off and chained up, and you couldn't get in there. And I'm like, well, crap, where do they want us to park? So we turned around and we came back. Well, by the side of the building was a gate that was open, and people were going in and parking on the grass. And so we just followed in with the other people, and we went in and we parked. No big deal. And there was nobody there, no security or nothing there, so we just parked with a bunch of other people, and then went on in and did our thing. Well, Saturday, when I came back, I went right back to that same parking area, but there was a security guard this time. And when I pulled up, I said, this is for vendors. And he said, where's your band? And I showed him. He said, come on in. So we went on in and we parked. No big deal. And at the end of the second day, on the way out of the convention after leaving, the guy, he said, roll down your window. And I rolled down my window. He says, I'm not going to be here tomorrow. You're going to have to deal with somebody else tomorrow. So just to let you know, make sure you have your vendor band on you. I said, okay, will do. No problem. Thank you very much. And I left. So we came in on Sunday, and we went into the back, and that one area, the gate was locked. There were chains on it. And I'm like, well, what the hell? What's that? So I drove over to that one parking lot that was for the VIP people, and I asked the security guard there, because he was pain in the ass security guards. You know, the kind that they just look like they hate their job, and they just, so that's what we're dealing with. And he said, you have to go through the front. I said, okay, fine. So we turned around, and we went into the front, and we pull into the front, and there's a sign that says $10 parking. It's like, all right, that's all right, no problem. We got our bands, vendors, no big deal. So we get up to the guy, and I said, we're vendors. And he says, still got to pay $10. Vendors pay $10. I'm like, what? We didn't have to pay the first 2 days. He says, well, that's because you guys were getting away with something. You were supposed to be paying $30 for the entire event. I'm like, nobody mentioned that anywhere. No communication from the staff, no nothing. And it's like, well, had we known that was what the case was, we would have been prepared and ready to go for it. But it's like, screw you on the last day is what happened. And when I talked to the guy who came around and was asking, how did you do, how was the show for you, he told me that area was for the staff, not for the vendors. But you want to know the funny thing? When we came through the front and paid the $10, that's where they told us to park. He says that's where and so we literally went to the same exact place we'd parked for the first 2 days, but this time they charged us for it. But hopefully next year they'll communicate exactly where we should park, what we should expect. They should. It's just simple stuff that, it's a communication issue, and that was literally the only thing that tarnished the weekend. Yo, Todd, what's up, man? Oh, yeah, I know, it was BS, but you know what? That's all right. I was complaining to Mike about it because Mike was behind me in his car, so I had to pay $20 for the two of us, and he was only there for like an hour. He loaded a few things and then he left. He barely even shopped. So it's like, it was just a waste of time, but it's okay. And he reminded me, he says, Dad, he said, you got the corner table, you were able to put more stuff out, you were able to sell more stuff, and it only cost you $20 for parking. You really shouldn't complain. And I told him, you're absolutely right. I should consider the fact that we did it. We had a really great weekend, met a lot of really great people, sold a lot of crap. We should consider all the positives and kind of ignore that one little negative. But I don't know. When I first started working at Citibank, one of the things they said for customer service is the 1 in 100 rule, or the 1 in 10 rule was what it was. Is that if somebody does something nice or says something good, oh, you are? Excellent. When? This would be my friend from New York telling me he's coming to visit me. Oh, no. Overall, the show was fantastic. We made some decent money, and I'm very happy. And even with the negative, thing that happened, we would still definitely set up again tomorrow. Or next year, I should say. But, I lost my train of thought. Todd jumps in and I lose my train of thought. That's how it works. Alright. That's another character down. So we got the ox and the ram. When I scan these in, I'm gonna have to shrink them down. No way! What are you coming down for? This is kind of all of a sudden. Something big? Something small? Something happy? Just trying to get away from that New England cold? My sister and my brother-in-law went up north, up to the New York area for some stuff, some family visiting and all, and he came back sick as a dog, so... Yeah, that is interesting. We come in, does that mean you're bringing the baby? You do realize that that's the only thing any of us really cares about, right? I don't care if Todd comes down to visit. We want the baby to come. She's cuter than you anyway. Let me get up my my other. Let's see, where is my monkey? Monkey. There we go. Oh, awesome! Todd, how sad is this? I completely forgot about Easter. I forgot all about that. You know, that makes perfect sense. You know, considering you're a good Jewish boy.
What, are they coming over for Passover?
They're coming to Florida. That's awesome. Well, he said he's going to be Orlando and St. Augustine. Oh, his mom moved to, like, St. Augustine. You know, she does... None of our parents live where they used to live when we were in high school anymore. You know? Yours do. Yours is the only one that do. Romel's are gone. Mine are gone. Todd's gone. Avery's... Everybody's gone. Everybody's parents are gone. Or at least not where they were when we were in high school, except for Jen's parents. That's so funny. Ugh. Spring break. That's definitely a good reason to come down and visit Florida. I don't think that's the exact reason, but... Cool. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Cool. Well, we'll have to try to get together. Especially if you're bringing that baby, because she is adorable, and we love her. You did good job. Good job, Todd. Oh, and you know, Ayla would be ticked if you guys came down to visit again and she missed out on seeing the baby. Again.
Now, careful. She might be having a new job by then.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true, too. All right, Todd. We'll see you when you come back, man. Oh. Jason, when you coming down to the Sunshine State again? You know, they say this is a great place to come and vacation, especially during this time of year, you know?
Yeah, when you're old.
Don't say that. My friends aren't old. They're young and spry. Most of them all have families still down here, so. Oh, alright.
Jason got any kids?
Jason? No.
You still on the phone with them?
No, dear. I'm in the middle of my live stream.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, you are old. No, Jen thought I was on the telephone with you guys. That's why. This is a mad monkey. Mad monkey. Jason says hello, by the way.
Hello.
She says hi back, if you didn't hear. Michael would say hi, but he's at work right now. Where he should be. I gotta remind me to tell Todd something important. He probably already knows this, but I figured I'd mention it to him. I got the email just this weekend. They've opened up pro registration for New York again this year. It's currently up and active, so if there's anybody out there who's a pro, working on comics or working in the comic field in any capacity and wants to go to the New York Comic Con, now's the time to register for your pro passes. I'm pretty sure you go to the website, you can find all the information you need. They only do it for a limited time, so. No, it is not. Oh, you were asking the question. No, the Pitch Perfect 3 was the end of the trilogy. Trilogy, by the way. Give them a few years and they're gonna reboot it, starting with a whole new cast. Actually, I think Anna Kendrick is adorable. I like her in almost everything I've seen her in. She was great in The Accountant. The Twilight movies. I'm sure that's where Jason's familiar with her character. No, that's not what I had to tell Todd. That's funny, Jason. That is funny. Hey, Todd, did you get the email from the New York Comic Con? They've opened up pro registration. If you haven't got the email, go check your spam folder. I'm telling it to you right now. So I think last year it went into your spam folder or something, or you didn't get the original notification, so. But actually, let me double check real quick, because I think not only did they send out pro registration, they also did Yeah. Artist Alley applications too. Which of course I'm gonna do. Yeah, that is kind of true. But then again, Mike and I have gotten in the last couple of years, so the hat must be pretty big, and they must pull a lot of names, you know? But in other words, just don't forget. Make sure you apply. I am not 100% sure if Mike and I are going to be able to make it up this year. It's still a rather... There's a lot of factors that are going to be involved. So... Ugh. And the leading factor is always money. But I am hoping that we can announce a Kickstarter soon, very soon. And if there's any extra money, we hope to put that towards wonderful, incredible, fascinating things such as New York Comic Con. Todd, I'm working on finding a new job right now, so there's always the possibility that I won't be able to get away from work. So there's no telling. There's a lot of factors in place, but at this point, it's a 100% want, 50-50 actually going to happen. So we are not flush with cash like we were last year. So. Which is sad because we love coming up and spending time with you guys. New York is always so much better when you have friends up there, you know? Oh, at this point, anywhere, really. My mother-in-law called me this morning and said that she had heard that Blue Cross and Blue Shield, which is an insurance company down here in Florida, is looking to hire like 500 people. But I swear to God, they're going to be like customer service positions, and I don't ever want to have to do that. I don't want to work for corporate America again. I really don't. I did it for many, many years. I don't ever want to do it again if I don't have to, but it's one of those things where you may not always have control over what it is you know? Hero ain't paying all the bills, not yet, so. Oh, I wish it was, but it ain't. But that's okay. When is Dragon Con? I keep forgetting about that. Jason, you need to remind me to submit my application. See if we can get a table this year. Let me look really quick. I think I have it in my... Oh, it's like in September. We still got plenty of time. Plenty of time. You know, I'm starting to forget what weapon the rabbit had. Oh, it's the bow staff. That's right. It's a mean looking bunny rabbit, ain't he? Oh, geez, that's right. Because New York's in October. Oh. Probably not since you've lived in Atlanta, right, Todd? Alright, I'm going to have to work on this one a little bit more. He's not coming out exactly the way I imagine him. Well, we'll work on it. Well, prior to last year, the last time I ever went to a Dragon Con was when you lived there, man. That was a long, long, long time ago. In a far-off land. Alright. The snake be pretty easy. The rooster, okay, I'll work on those now. Well, I forgot about the horse. Crap, let me get my reference for the horse. Oh. For some reason I got this really itty bitty small picture of a horse. But that's okay, it'll work. Wow, 6 years. And that's only because me. Otherwise, you would have avoided it like the plague, right? Oh, I really, really, really got to get started back on that Kickstarter thing. I'm going to order another proof copy of Hero, Chapter 1, Book 1, Chapter 1, but I'm going to do it in the 8 by 10.5 size, which is what the publishers consider magazine size, and see how it looks. When I originally planned to do Hero, the plan was always to be 8.5 by 11. So if I can do something close to that size, I'll be happy. And I honestly think Hero will look so much better at that size. Because that's what we originally intended, you know? I think his snout needs to be a little bit longer. I will fix I'll put a mark on here to remind me to do that, and I'll do that digitally before after I scan this in, because his snout definitely isn't long enough. It needs to come down probably about to here. Okay. All right. You know what? I should actually be reusing some of the, flipping some of these over and using both sides, since these are just really rough sketches. Let's see here. Rooster. Yeah, well, the honest to God's truth, Jason, most of the time I'm just making the crap up as I go along. These guys will attest to the fact that I have no talent whatsoever. I'm just making it up. Ugh. This particular reference for a rooster that I found. Roosters are not pretty birds. They are ugly birds. I'm sure you guys all know that from your years of experience on the farm, right? I don't think I'd want to get into a fight with a rooster. They have some really sharp claws. Oh, the reason why there's these stars being thrown out is because the rooster is the master of the throwing stars. I mean, come on, when you think of roosters, you think of roosters and chickens. You guys think of throwing stars, of course, right? That's what I think of. Oh, let's see here. Avery, you going to do a live stream this evening? Last time we live streamed, Avery started one right after I was done. It was awesome. We watched him for like 2 hours doing work. It was pretty cool. Let's see here. Y'all should check out his stuff because he's awesome. All right. Oh, that's not the reference I wanted. No? All right. All right. Oh. Actually, I think the reference I want is in the other folder. Yeah, I know, I'm working on it. I just, I had to keep my references organized. Keep drawing, monkey. You know, that's funny you say that. They were giving away these free snack chips at the convention, some type of promotional thing, and Mike and I each had like 2 or 3 bags worth, and they weren't bad. I mean, they were a good little snack. But one of my customers came by and she's like, "Here, take these," and she handed me like 6 of them. Like her and her kids all got a whole bunch of them, and they were like, "We don't like them. Here, take them." And she's like handed them to me, and I'm like, "Yes, feed the monkeys, feed the monkeys." Yes, 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 I know. Feed the art monkeys. Oh, this actually looks horrible. This is what I get for trying to freehand drawing a snake. They are not easy to do. Actually, where's my other reference? Where's the other picture I had? No, no, no. Feed the monkey. Feed the monkey. As in the art monkey. As in, that's what we are. Just a bunch of monkeys. Doing our art. Didn't I have a picture of a snake coming right at you? With his mouth open? That's a side view. Eh, maybe that'll work. No, that's not what I want. I want a straight on image. I'm sure I have one here. Heck, I can always just do a Google search. See, this happens from time to time. Yeah, I know this makes for good live streaming is silence while I try to find the reference I need. Oh well. Alright, screw it. I'm not finding the image I want. Well, that's a good one. Oh, this is actually a good one. Doesn't have his mouth open, but that's okay. I can fake it. Oh, in different color. So does anybody know of anything that happened over the weekend that I missed out on? Anything interesting? Anything happened in the comic world? Movies? Entertainment? I really don't want to I don't really care about politics at this point, so if anything happened in politics, I'm really not too concerned about it. I'm sure there's something that happened in entertainment, right? Oh, Jason, did you go see the movie? Did you go see, I am blanking. Pacific Rim, the new one. I know that's something you're into. You should give us your review and tell us what you think. Actually, really? Very cool, very cool. Yeah, I knew about Star Wars tomorrow. I'll probably reserve mine in the morning because I don't think they have it available for reservation right now. You know, I just remembered, snakes do not stick out their tongue and do their fangs at the same time, do they? Nope, they do not. And their faces are, and their heads are more shallow when their jaws are extended. Alright, I'll have to work on this a little bit. Oh, really? I bet it was because he got to use his natural accent, you know? Instead of having to trying to pretend to be English speaking. Just because I want to screw around here a little bit, I'm going to do. Yeah, what'd you think of verses number 1 and number 2, Todd? I still haven't picked it up. I'm not a big Eric Rizabek fan. I'm just not a big fan of the painted style of comics. You know, the realistic kind of painted type versions. I may definitely check it out when it comes out in trade, or a nice hardcover edition. But it's not one of those things I rush out there to buy. Oh, okay. It's going to take you 18 hours to read 2 comics? Or are you flying? Tell you what, 2.5-hour flight compared to 18 hours driving? Ugh. We have learned the hard way that if you're going to go from Florida to New York, take a frickin' airplane. I screwed that up, didn't I? See? Glad this isn't the actual piece. This is actually just the rough layout. I'm allowed to screw up and dribble like that when it's just the layout. That's actually a little bit better than I originally planned, but alright. That'll work. Who the heck is calling me? Let's go find out. Hello? Hello? I don't know what 208 area code is. I have no idea what that is. Maybe I should look. Ohio. Idaho. I don't know anybody in Idaho. Probably a wrong number. Oh well. Alright. Alright guys, listen, this is what I was working on tonight. I'll just go through it. Why wouldn't I answer the phone? What if it was important? You know, what if it was one of my kids? Somebody had flown them to Idaho and they needed money to get home or something. You never know. What the next page that I'm going to be working on is page 69, and it features a 2-panel splash in which the 7 legendary warriors are going to fight the dragon, which is the large oh crap, I've got it over here. Hold on, I'll show you guys. Y'all remember this one? All right. This is the alligator snapping turtle, which we will lovingly refer to from now on as the dragon. This is the dragon that they're facing, and this is the 7 legendary warriors rushing into battle against the dragon, which, spoiler, they lose. I know, I haven't even drawn it yet, and I'm already spoiling what happens, but that's just the way it goes. But I appreciate you all checking in. I'm going to scan these in to the computer. I'm going to do some resizing, do some laying them out, get them in the proper position that I want them in, so forth, stacking them on top of each other, hiding some in the background that I don't want you to see anyway because they're bad drawings, you know, that type of thing. And then I will I'll try to, I may save it, the actual page for Wednesday's live stream. So definitely check back with me on Wednesday the 28th. Same time, 7:30. We're going to start drawing, and hope you all can attend and chime in and say hi and let me know what you think. All right, everybody. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream now, and look forward to seeing you guys next time. Appreciate it, guys.